Hey guys, Zack here, and welcome back to another action figure review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous Attack Ceratosaurus. Before I get into this video, I just want to update you guys on a very big update as far as the channel goes. From now on, my videos are going to be edited. Yes, I was looking around and did some research, and I found a video editing software that should work very well. I got it for free. I think it's DaVinci Revolution, something like that. It has DaVinci in the name, but it was free, and actually that's the same program that was used to edit Godzilla King of the Monsters. So yeah, this is going to be a learning experience for me. It's going to be a lot more work because, of course, before I just recorded and just uploaded, but now, like, I'm going to edit my video, so that's going to be a lot more work, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't used it yet as of me recording this, so be patient with me, and as I go along, I will start to get the hang of it more. So, yeah. Anyway, from now on, my videos will be edited, and yeah, I absolutely cannot wait to, Of course, to start the review, we will take a look at the paint, and the painting on this figure is a little lackluster, I'm not gonna lie. It's not terrible. There are a lot of, the colors here look very nice, but kind of lacking, but let's take a closer look at that. So, most of the body here is this grayish color, which looks nice. I prefer the yellow on the original, but we'll talk more about that later. Of course, all over the back here and on the head, we can see a lot of black-like stripings, which I think look very nice. It would have been nice if they continued like all the way to the end of the tail, but unfortunately it just kind of stops here, which is a common problem with Mattel figures, so yeah, a little unfortunate, but not the end of the world. Anyway, taking a look at the head here, we can see that the eyes are painted yellow with black pupils. The horn and the teeth are painted a whitish yellowish color, which looks nice. And something I find weird, on this figure, there's like, it's very small, it's not really a problem, but like on the teeth here, there's like a little bit of like a reddish color that sort of like bleeds onto the teeth, like from the head sculpt here, or the head paint, which would be a minor like defect on mine maybe, but I went to Target the other day. They had 3 of these and all 3 of them had the same problem, so I don't know what's going on there, but regardless, it's still a very small problem, not the end of the world. You'd have to literally like take a magnifying glass to see that. You can see it on camera pretty well, but in person it is very small. But yeah, anyway, going to the inside of the mouth, we can see that the inside here is painted almost like a darkish pinkish color with like a little bit of like a glossy effect to make the mouth look wet, which I think looks alright. Of course, in Mattel tradition, the fingernails and toenails are not painted, which is kind of a shame, but honestly not the end of the world. And on the underside here, we have the Jurassic World Scan logo and the new Jurassic World logo here. And that's pretty much it for the painting on this figure. A little lackluster. I think the figure would have looked a lot nicer if the red and the black stripes continued all the way down to the tail, but that's just me. Of course, the fingernails and toenails not being painted is kind of a problem, but honestly, it's not really the end of the world. And as far as the gray color scheme here goes, I kind of prefer the yellow on the original Fallen Kingdom Roarivore Ceratosaurus. I don't know, I just think it looks a little nicer than this. Though I will say this, something I find interesting. The Ceratosaurus in Jurassic Park Operation Genesis is gray. So you could say that this is a Ceratosaurus from Jurassic Park Operation Genesis and not so much Jurassic Park 3. Which I think is cool. Granted, that might just me being like, me overlooking things. But at the same time, the Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous Troodon figure, the Attack Pack one, that figure was based off of the Troodon from Jurassic Park, the game. So, it's possible. It honestly could be possible that Mattel, like, looked into other Jurassic media and said, like, oh, this Ceratosaurus from Jurassic Park Operation Genesis looks cool. We'll do something around this. So, yeah. Anyway, going back to the actual painting on the figure, not bad. Not, like, the best either, but not bad. So, honestly, I'd say the painting here gets, like, I'd say it gets half a pass. Like, everything looks fine, but again, it just would have been really nice if the black continued, like, all the way to the end of the tail here. And even the red, too. But yeah, regardless, not terrible, but the painting could be better. So the paint on this figure gets half a pass. Now we'll take a look at the articulation, and the articulation on this figure is not bad. I like the articulation here. It's kind of cool. So, of course, the arms can move 360 and move outwards, like so. The legs can also move 360, as you can see with this leg and the other leg here. The legs can spread as well. And the tail here, well, you have to attach the tail. The tail comes disassembled in the box, but basically it is on a ball joint and a swivel, so you can move it around any way you want, which I think is cool. And then the gimmick of this line, which I think it's a little weird, but honestly, I actually kind of like it. I think it's pretty cool. Instead of having like a button here, you have like a switch, and like the further you, the further you push it, the like further the mouth opens. So let's take a closer look. So the first switch, we get that little sound, and I like that. That sounds a little more like a Carnotaurus, but still sounds really nice, and I really like that last sound. I think that last sound is really cool. And yeah, this it's weird, but again, I actually weirdly like it. I think it's really cool, yeah, and it feels really durable too. Something I complain about a lot is how like a lot of Mattel figures feel kind of cheap as far as like the build and plastic quality goes, but this figure, not so much. This figure feels like, it feels very like durable, and I actually really like that. So this switch, as weird as it is, I actually really like this a lot. So, and it feels really nice to push forward too, just like, just slowly, just like, or you can just kind of like push it all the way and just kind of, I like that. I actually really like that. Like, it's nothing like, crazy, but like, it's different. It's weird, but that's why I like it. It's really interesting, and it feels really durable too. So again, I actually really like that. So, yeah. Anyway, that is it for the articulation, and the articulation on this figure is pretty nice. I like it. Of course, the legs and arms, that's, what you'd expect. And the tail, it's cool that it's on, like, a ball joint that you can, like, rotate and everything like that. But the gimmick especially, I think, is really cool. So, yeah, the articulation is really nice, and I really like the gimmick here. So, the articulation here, I'd say gets a pass. Now we'll take a look at the sculpt, and the sculpting on this figure is very nice, everything here, all the proportions look very nice. The feet look a little big, but for the most part, it doesn't look too bad. I really like the tail here. Usually what Mattel does, they usually make like really short tails, but on this figure, the tail feels really like nice and long, and I like that a lot. Because, of course, the reason why theropod dinosaurs, or just dinosaurs in general, the reason why they have tails is because, like, they're supposed to be long so that way they can balance, like, just their weight. So, like, longer tails on their, like, dinosaur figures look really nice. And here, yeah, it just looks really nice. Usually Mattel, they make the tail, like, up to there or something like that. But, no, this feels really nice, and I like it. So, yeah. And even the head sculpt, I think, looks really nice. Very reminiscent to what we see in Jurassic Park 3. Not one-to-one. I'm sure I'll put up a picture next to this front view here. There may be some minor differences between the two, but for the most part, it looks pretty close to the one from Jurassic Park 3. I know Ceratosaurus was in Camp Cretaceous, but the Ceratosaurus there is more based off of the one from Jurassic World Evolution, and it's very clear that this Ceratosaurus is based off of the one from Jurassic Park 3. So, there you go. It would only make sense for the head sculpt to match the Jurassic Park 3 one, which it does pretty well. Again, very minor differences, but, for the most part, the sculpting on the head looks very nice, and I like it a lot. And yeah, the rest of the sculpting on this figure looks really nice. There is one thing that I'm not the biggest fan of, and that would be the legs. Now, the legs themselves, they look nice, but I just don't like the position. I was never really a big fan of these, like, aggressively stanced, like, theropods. To me, like, I just want a neutral standing dinosaur toy, and just having, like, something like this, like, on this figure, it doesn't look horrible, but, like, when it's standing like this and having the tail sticking straight up, it looks a little weird to me. I don't know why. I like that sound. But like when it's roaring, I think it looks cool. But like when it's not, it's like it just looks a little weird. It only looks natural with like the tail bent like that. And even then, like I don't know, I don't know. It just looks a little off to me. And it's actually really cool. There is a way to make this figure just like stand normally. So technically you can't have like a neutral standing Ceratosaurus, but like the feet look a little weird when standing, and even like like looking at it up front, like part of it is just kind of like leaning, and it's like I don't know. I just prefer like a Ceratosaurus figure just stand like this, or just any theropod dinosaur really just stand like this, and just like of course fix the feet to the surface like ground or whatever. But yeah, no, just like something like this just looks a lot nicer than standing like this. But that's just me. Other than that, though, the sculpting on this figure is still very nice. So the sculpt definitely gets a pass. Now we'll take a look at the detailing. And the detailing on this figure is actually really nice. So, Mattel, they usually do a great job with the detailing. And this figure is no exception. So let's take a closer look. So, going to the head here, we can see all of the bits of scaling and everything like that. Looks very nice, very nicely defined. And all like the scales in the bottom jaw here especially just looks, it just looks so good. And going down, all the creases and like all the wrinkles in the neck here, and the little like osteoderms just look amazing. Just like all the wrinkles and just, the detailing here is great. And even going to the arms here, we have a very nice bit of musculature. And even the fingers here are detailed very nicely. And the side of the body, again, just a lot of really nice creasing and just like scaling and everything like that. Just looks great. Now going to the legs here, we have a lot of really nice musculature, especially in like the calves here. Just looks really nice, and all the scaling in the feet and everything like that. The detailing here is just amazing. I like it a lot. And going to the tail here, again, we have a lot of nice musculature and a lot of nice detailing and everything like that. All the scales and like detailing and everything. It just looks great here, is what I'm trying to say. All the scaling, musculature and everything like that. We do have a seam here, but overall, not a big deal. And yeah, the detailing on this figure is really nice. So the detailing definitely gets a pass. Now we'll do some size comparisons. So to start, here's the original Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom Roarivore Ceratosaurus. As far as like actual figures go, I think this guy is better, but I like the paint scheme here a lot more, because the black stripes, like, they continue all the way to the end of the tail, and even the red to an extent, it just sort of, like, it stops there, but, like, still, this just looks nicer compared to, let me just stand him up for a second, there we go. It looks nicer than this, where it just stops here, and the rest is just gray. So, yeah, I like this guy more as a figure, but the painting on this guy is better, in my opinion. So there's that. Here is the Camp Cretaceous Control and Conquer Toro, the Carnotaurus, and I think the scaling between these two is absolutely abysmal. Carnotaurus should not be this big. Carnotaurus should be about the same size as the Ceratosaurus, but for some reason Mattel thinks, hey, let's make our Carnotaur figures like 50 feet tall, and it's like, no, that's stupid. Like, this figure, Toro, he's literally the size of, like, all the T-Rex figures I own, like, by Mattel. So it's like, the scaling here is just off with Toro. If they were to make, like, Toro in this, like, line of figures, like the same, same, like, scale and, like, same, like, gimmick and everything like that, that would be amazing. Just, like, give us, like, the Toro sculpt with, like, this scale. That would look incredible, but instead, we have to have, like, figures that are too big, like this. So, yeah, there's that. Here is our last review, the Stomp and Escape Tyrannosaurus Rex, and I think these two scale very nicely with each other. So, there's that. And, of course, like how we always end our size comparisons, here is Dr. Billy Grant, and I think these two scale pretty well. Ceratosaurus in real life would be a little smaller than this, but overall I think they scale pretty nicely still. And of course, here is some hand sanitizer. So at the end of the day, should you get this? Honestly, I'd say yeah. This is a, fun little Ceratosaur toy. I don't like the painting. I think the painting could be a little better. I think there could be more like stripes and red along the tail and everything like that, like I said several times in this video, but overall, this is a nice little Ceratosaur toy. The sculpting is nice, the detailing is nice, and I like the new switch gimmick. I think that is really cool, and I think kids are going to like this, you know? Again, it's not perfect, the painting could be a lot better, but overall, this is still a very nice figure. As far as price tags go, I bought this figure at Target for like 15 bucks, and like I said, the painting could be better with that price tag, but overall, for 15 bucks, honestly, that's not a bad price for this figure. It's, you know, it feels durable, the gimmick is nice, and overall, this is just a nice little figure, and I like it, so, yeah. Anyway, that is it for today. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video. Peace, Zack out.